Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Social Reset Podcast. I have a really special episode for you today. This is actually an interview that I had with one of my BAA graduates. So, Minaal is a Dharma coach, and she recently graduated from Business Activation Academy. And I wanted her to share her story and her transformation that she experienced through the academy. I think that this can help give clarity to someone who might be thinking about becoming a coach, whether you want to join us this round or around in the future, or maybe you just want to hear a little bit about the process of what it looks like to become a coach and sign your first clients, and just how exciting and expansive and truly transformative this process is. It literally lights me up thinking about it, talking to Minaal about it, talking to all of you about it, and it just gets to be the most incredible thing when you step into your power, if this is something you really feel called towards, and when you are able to help change the world one person at a time. So a little bit about what we're going to be discussing. Minaal started Business Activation Academy as someone that was following a lot of the wounded masculine business practices. She was told she needed to niche down. She was told that she just needed to do all of these things with content creation and business, and it made her feel very suffocated, is one of the things that she uses to describe it. And so I'm going to talk about how she dropped the hustle. She explains a little bit more about how she integrated some of the feminine energy, divine feminine energy, and how she ended up signing 2 clients before she was even done with the program. And she truly stepped into her power and purpose, and now is being able to help other people do the same thing. So allow Minaal to be an expander for you. We talk about whether or not you actually need a certification for coaching, creating content with ease, just really infusing your business with so much fun, and being able to grow and expand and do what you are meant to through it all. So if you are interested in hearing more about Minaal's journey and learning about Business Activation Academy, keep on listening. And right now we are doing a Black Friday bonus for Business Activation Academy, and then the public launch officially opens on Monday, November 29th. So if you want more details on that, check the link in my bio at tiffanychung.co, and you can always DM me for more information. All right, I will catch you all soon. I'm your host, Tiffany Chung, your go-to for all things marketing, mindset, and manifestation. I grew my online business from 0 to beyond 6 figures in 8 months. My purpose is to empower women to step into the highest, most aligned versions of themselves. If you are ready to take charge of your life, learn how to design a wildly successful business, and leave limiting beliefs behind, you've come to the right place. You will learn the actionable tips and step-by-step strategies on money, manifestation, and social media. It's time to step into your role as boss, to raise your vibration and tap into your unlimited potential today. Welcome to the Social Reset Podcast.
Hi, Tiffany.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm so happy to see you. It's been like too long.
I know. It's so beautiful to see your face. Well, thank you so much for joining me on live. I'm so excited to have you here. Do you want to, of course, the BART train has to pass right now. Do you want to introduce yourself a little bit to the audience and just share a little bit about who you are, what you do, who you help?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Minaal. I'm based out of New York. I actually grew up in Dubai in the UAE and have been in the US for the last 8 years. And I went through that typical path to go to college, get a degree, get a corporate job. So doing all those things. And then I think during the pandemic, there was this moment of like waking up to the fact that there's something more out there. And so I decided I wanted to pursue being a coach. And so fast forward, it's been like, I think a year since I've been, actively pursuing this and just coming out of Business Activation Academy. And I'm a Dharma coach now. So I really help, I think, I know, I'm so excited to say that. crazy. This is like my first time going live and like just claiming it.
I know. I love it. I love it. This is very energetic and so transformative for you.
Yeah, I was like, when Tiffany invited me, I was like, am I ready to do this? And I was like, I'm all, he just gives me that strength. So I'm a Dharma coach. I actually have 2 clients right now, and I specifically work with women to help them find, you know, the same way that I felt like I needed to follow a specific path. How can they chart their own path and find their own purpose? Because it's through that, through discovering their through discovering their dharma, that they can really, you know, embody their highest selves and, you know, raise the vibration of their own self, but also like people around them, and give other people the permission to live their purpose. And I've kind of seen that in my own life. In doing this, I've just seen other people around me get more excited about, you know, what is it that they love to do and what is it that they want to share with the people around.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, I love it. I am also a big fan of Minaal, hence the comment.
Oh,
I love it. But yeah, that's amazing. That is amazing. And I love that you went from being able to like kind of awakening. I feel like so many of us, I feel like there's a conscious kind of ascension and awakening happening right now with so many different people due to the pandemic and being in quarantine and just all of the events of 2020, and how so many people are awakening to their true purpose and realizing, oh my goodness, like I can't stay another day in this job, or I really want to continue pursuing my passion that I've been putting off for however many months or years. So what are some things that you had to tell yourself, or let's say like the person that you had to become, in order to get from, hey, I kind of maybe want to help people discover their passion, to like, okay, I'm all in, I'm going to join the academy, I'm going to really pursue this like 100%. What were the steps in between?
yeah, I think I've been looking back and reflecting a lot on this, especially since you invited me to do this, because I was like, where have I been and where am I now? I think there was a lot of, initially, there was a lot of, actually, I didn't even know what lit me up and what excited me. Like that was so buried deep inside me. I was like, oh, I will like whatever it is that I'm told to like, and whatever it is that will financially support me. And for me, that was always, especially immigrating to the US, it felt like the only way to be here and sustain a life here was through going down the corporate path. There was never an idea that I could be an entrepreneur, I could be a business owner, I could be a coach even. So I think it was that time at home during the pandemic to really reflect and starting to realize that so much of the satisfaction I got from my job, my corporate job, was actually being in community and being with people. And now that that part was taken away, what is it that I enjoy? And really digging deep to find out what is it that excites me. And I've always been, and I think it was tuning into what friends had always told me, that, you know, I'm such a good listener. It's always been something that they've come to me for. And I've never thought it was something that I could do for a living. I was like, no, that's just being a good friend. And then I discovered, and then I actually went down the path of like, it was a lot of like research, like what is it that I can do with this skill set that I feel like I uniquely am gifted with. So I like leaned back, did a lot of research. I was like, do I want to become a therapist? And I think in discovering, in realizing whether I want to be a therapist or not, I discovered that so much of that would require me to go and get another qualification. And I think that was what was holding me back. I always felt like I had to get more and more credentials to be able to offer something valuable. And I think that's really what BAA gave me, was realizing that I have everything that I need and I don't need to go and get another certification. So I kind of hit pause on wanting to become a therapist, and I looked more at, I discovered coaching, and I was like, oh, I could start doing that immediately. Like I wanted to help people immediately because I wanted to find out if it was what I wanted.
Yeah.
Again, there was that belief that was holding me back, that I needed to like at least, you know, learn how to coach. And
Right.
I think the book eventually was realizing and believing that I had what it was that my clients needed already within me, and it would waiting to, you know, to do another course to get more credentials would just be putting off the benefit and the value that and impact that I can share with people. And it was only through the doing and the action that I would actually be able to learn and refine what my dharma and what my gifts are. And
Yeah.
so that was really like the invitation to BAA, was being like, there's no more excuses that I could make to like hold myself back any longer.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that. And I think that it's so easy for us to kind of just push things aside and be able to tell ourselves, like, it's going to be there always. I can kind of come back to it, right? I can do it a different time, or all of the things that kind of hold us back in terms of obstacles of like, I need to be certified and I need these qualifications. And I was talking about this in the kind of the mastermind that I'm in, and kind of in conversation with a couple of different people about certifications. And so some of the things that like my coach and peer coaches also brought up was the fact that certifications, especially in like the coaching world, can feel very it feels like colonial or patriarchal, of like, oh, here's a hierarchy of like, okay, now I'm certified and I did all these things, I have this piece of paper right now, it now allows me to be more qualified as a coach, right? There are people that are, you know, for example, someone that might have helped their father overcome chronic illness in a holistic way, that like didn't go through a certification, but is then able to help other people because she studied and researched and kind of went through her own journey of discovering that and being able to therefore help somebody else. You know, there's so many different ways where coaches are able to bring in exactly who they are, exactly what they have. And that's kind of the premise of Business Activation Academy, is that you don't need something outside of yourself to prove, oh, now I'm a good coach. Okay, I've hit my like 5K month, now I'm a good coach. Or like, oh, I finally booked a client, now I'm a good coach, right? So it's like all of these things that are very external and then become very wavering, right? Because then what if that happens? When's like, what's going to happen if the client is done and or what happens if, you know, one, like you had like consistent 5K months and then one day you have a 2K month, like what are you making that mean about yourself? So I feel like what I'm hearing from your story is like, you decided that it was possible, you decided you wanted to go for it, you decided that you were going to take yourself up on all of the incredible things that you'd heard about yourself and believed about yourself, and decided to just go forward and take that action. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, I think one add before BAA, which actually like kind of took me off, was doing one of those coaching programs and being told I needed a niche down, that this was the specific formula I needed to follow. And I like felt crippled. I was like, I can't be a coach because I can't do this. I can't be successful. Like there's no way. I know I love coaching, but in order to run a successful business, I don't think it's going to happen for me because I don't know how to niche down. I don't want to choose a specific group of people. And, you know, there were months this year where I just like kind of like hit the brakes. And so finding BAA, finding Tiffany was like one of the most, I was like, this is a sign. Like you've been literally feeling this block for so long. And it was like hearing you speak about BAA, like you took the block away. Like there was no part of me, like I think a week before BAA opened, I was like, yeah, there's no way, like I don't have like I don't have the finances to do this yet. Like,
Yeah.
Happened for me. Like the moment I just heard you speaking about it, I'm like, if I say no now, I'm saying no to like stepping into the next version of me. And that would be, you know, that would like, after everything that I've committed to myself over the last 2 years since the pandemic started, like this would just be taking a step back and now saying I no longer believe in myself if I didn't, you know, take the leap.
Wow. Yeah. No, I think that's really powerful. I think it's powerful that you, above everything, like you didn't put all of that trust in like me, for example, right? Or like the program itself. Like you trusted that it was the right thing for you, but like overall, you trusted yourself. And I think that's the most powerful thing here that I'm hearing from you, is that like you decided that you were worth it and that you were going to trust yourself and follow yourself, and that that was going to be enough. So I think that's incredible. And yeah, I'm so proud of you for being able to recognize that, because I think that there are so many people that aren't able to completely follow through. There are always going to be so many excuses, and I honestly think that the biggest and most difficult obstacles happen right before your breakthrough. I think that's for a reason, like myself included. Every single time I've up leveled or I've gone through some type of massive transformation in my life, there's always been like all these things thrown my way, like right before. It's almost like the universe just saying like, hey, are you sure you want this? Like, are you sure you're sure you're sure you're sure? And I'm like, yes, like leave me alone. But I think that there are a lot of people that will tell me like right before, they're like, oh, I had to deal with this issue, whether it was like financially or it was a mental block, or I have a couple things on my plate, you know. It's like, it just pushes us in order to realize like, who is it that we want to become? What is the person that we want to walk out of this academy being, or even just the next several months, right? And the year is coming to a close. And I feel like this is a pivotal time just kind of in the collective where so many people need what you have to offer. And I want to touch on your human design for just a moment, because I know you're a manifesting generator. And for those who aren't super familiar with human design, I won't get into all of the details of Minal's chart or anything, but she's a manifesting generator, which means that she's a multi-passionate, multi-hyphenate individual. Like, she's meant to be drawn to a bunch of different things. You were probably, or could have been, the kid when you were growing up wanting to like try one activity and then another one, and then being drawn to another one, or like different projects or tasks, and just following what lit you up, right? And so for people who are manifesting generators, you mentioned hearing that you needed to niche down, and that feeling like kind of like a crumbling or sinking feeling, right? And so I think that of a lot of what is being taught when it comes to business is like, here's one way to do it. You better follow this one way and niche down and get narrow and put yourself in this box, you know, thanks to supremacy culture and the patriarchy wanting to keep women small and within these limitations. And we have people out here like manifesting generators, and even if you aren't a Manny Gen, like having these huge, big, expansive dreams that you want to follow. And I feel like that has given Minaal and so many other Manny Gens the permission to be themselves in the most creative and multitude of ways. So tell me a little bit about how you've felt kind of your unique energy come to life through BAA, and also just some of the decisions that you've made. I know you're offering a couple of other offers and services within your business, and it's helping you create this freedom and joy. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, oh my gosh, there was so much comparisonitis. I hate to admit it, but it's so true. And I don't think I felt that in months. It's like the most freeing thing. Like, I show up every day. If I want to work on my business, I do. If I don't, I'm like, it doesn't matter, because like I'm in my own lane and I'm creating it like each day. And so it's been so freeing to just literally, and I think like as a Manny Gen, like tap into my sacral and be like, does this excite me? And if it doesn't, I don't need to do it. So there was a point, I think when BA ended, I was like, oh, I should like, you know, go out and look for more clients. And then I checked in with myself, like, do I actually want more clients right now? And I was like, no, I don't. So I kind of like stopped pursuing that. And I remember telling you in like the last couple of weeks of BA that the thing that I'm obsessed with right now is just like diving deep into human design. Like, that's one of my offers, because it's helped me so much in my business and in life, in my relationships, in everything that I do. So I want to like teach other people and coach people through their human design. So that became so much bigger of an offer. Like, I've had way more human design readings and coaching sessions than I have like full-time clients that I'm seeing for Dharma coaching. And so
Wow.
like pivot and just do whatever's feeling good, because like this feeling, like I come out of a human design reading and I'm like tingling all over, and I'm like, I feel so expanded, and I was like, this is what I want more of. Like,
Oh,
yeah, so I was like, I'm definitely in the right place, like being able to
yeah.
like myself. And so that, I think that was one of the biggest decision points I made. Was first, I was doing a human design, I'm doing a human design certification along with, I was doing a human design certification along with BAA. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I'm not ready to do a reading yet. And I was like, wasn't the whole point of BAA to be like, I'm ready when I decide I'm ready? So one week I was like, I'm ready to do a reading. I can do a foundational reading. I did it. And then that's when I got that like feedback. Like, I felt so good from doing it. I got the feedback from the client. And I was like, wait, maybe I want to do this more. Maybe I actually want to offer it and not have it be a one-off. So being able to follow that desire now and go deep into human design has been so much fun. And just working with my two clients just on Dharma coaching is like fulfilling that part of my life, you know? So I don't think I have to like choose between the two, but being able to say that I'm not just a Dharma coach, like I thought I had to pick one label. And I remember telling Tiffany, I've changed my bio on Instagram like 12 times during the 11 weeks of BA. And she was like, yeah, you're a Manny Gen for sure. So I, I definitely don't feel the need to label myself anymore and be like, I only do this. I was like, this is like what I feel like talking about to people today. And so I'm going to follow that energy.
Yeah. Oh, that's so beautiful. I love that. I just got like chills and tingles hearing you speak because I feel like you're truly in your dharma and you're listening to what feels good for you. And like, I feel like dharma and human design just go hand in hand so beautifully to a point where like you don't have to choose. You can have both and integrate them together because guess what? People need that. And beyond the titles and the bio and all of those things, people need you. It's your magic. So whatever you end up expressing and presenting and offering, like that is just like that's your offer. That's an extension of your magic, but like your secret sauce, like who you are authentically and what lights you up in your sacral. At the end of the day, that's where this is all brewing from, right? The offers, the human design readings, those are like it's like little like it's like soup from the brew. God, okay, this is analogy. It's like really not making any sense, but you know what I mean. And I feel like that's you stepping into your power and your glory. And I think that's the most beautiful thing is it just like physically pains me to think that there are people who need to stick to one offer or need to only do one thing or need to only offer like, oh, this is what I've been taught to do, or this is what's profitable, or this is what, you know, I feel like my coach told me at one point and I'm just going to keep doing it, or I'm really drawn to this but I don't feel like I can offer it because of XYZ reason, right? Like we're all meant to be such dynamic people and such like with such diverse ranges of passions, and that can change based on your season of life. It can change based on what you're feeling called to, especially as manifesting generators, that like you're meant to feel drawn to a million things during your lifetime. And if you, God forbid, listen to the advice of like stick to one thing, niche down, right? So many people would miss out on your magic. And so I'm so proud of you. And yeah, I love all that you're doing. Okay, so let's wrap it up with one last question. Um, what do you feel like are some of the main takeaways or some of the biggest things that you feel like impacted you through your journey of going through Business Activation Academy? I remind all of my students that you don't have to, like, it's not a race to the end of the finish line. It's really how can you integrate what you're learning? Because that's the most important thing. Like, I would much rather someone take their time going through the material rather than like keeping up for the sake of saying like, hey, I'm caught up, right? I don't want this to be like school. So I wanted it to be fun. I want it to be powerful. But I know you've also mentioned so much more ease and fun in creating content. So yeah, what are some of those things that really, really stuck out to you that you're like, people need this?
Okay, so I the first thing is realizing it's not like school. I think that was a big thing for me was like I go at my own pace in Business Activation Academy and in my business. So even outside of this container, whatever it is that I choose to do each day, like I get to set the tone and pace of my business and how fast or how slow it grows, how much money I make. Like for me, it always came down, like I think Tiffany, in your first group call with us, you said, how can, because I was like, how do you build a community on Instagram? And you told us, how can you best provide value and create those relationships with your audience? And I was like, yeah, wait, I haven't started doing that yet. How can I expect anything? How can I expect any traction? How can I expect people to know who I am if I'm not willing to like offer some value and I have so much to give? So that's kind of where I began. And when I was like, what is it that I have to offer? I started to reflect more on like, what am I going through right now? And how can I share how I go and navigate through these daily things? How have I navigated through my Dharma? Like, what has my journey been? And sharing that through my posts. That's been one big thing for me, because then it was not like I needed to like go and do a bunch of research to write a post. It was like the research is my experience. Like I don't need to go and do anything different, but rather to just speak from my heart. And then the other thing I think that was really, really big was recognizing that my clients aren't somewhere out there in the multiverse. I was like, oh no, how will I ever meet people? Like I'm gonna have to like they don't even know me. And I would say my two beta clients and everyone who I've done a human design reading with are people I know, people who know my energy. Literally the moment I said I was doing something, they didn't even care about, they didn't ask me any questions. They were like, how do I sign up? Where do I sign up? And in that moment, I realized that's what's going to speak so much louder than like my credentials. I don't think anyone has ever asked me if I have a coaching certification, how many clients I've had before, what have my results been. I don't even have a website. They literally were just like, we love your energy, and that's what we want. We want someone to like hype us up, get us excited to like pursue our goals, and who can speak so passionately about something and just like wants to pour themselves into someone else. And that has been like the thing that I always try to do. It's like, if I'm going to show up for any coaching session, for any human design reading, I'm like, am I ready to pour everything I have into the session? Because that's where like my clients get the most value. Because ultimately, like, it's not the perfect copy, as Tiffany's told me. Like, I've asked her, I was like, how do I write? How do I write a perfect Instagram post? She's like, you never will. And I was like, okay, if I make a typo, it's like, no one's gonna, like, if someone wants to unfollow me because of a typo, that's okay. Like the posts, I think the ones where I'm just like, oh, I wrote that in 10 minutes, that people have like literally been like, this was so helpful. Like the ones that I haven't thought too much about, the ones I haven't been so planful about, the ones that have just felt like so organic to me in the moment, have been the ones that have been the easiest to write, and the ones that have resonated with my audience the most. And so I think that's been such a journey. And I think the community that BA offers is just other people who are like exactly like, I think I couldn't have imagined a better BA community. Like the other people, the other students who were part of this, who just supported and who like cheered me on. Like I remember having like a couple of blocks during our session, during our group calls during the 11 weeks, and feeling like so flustered on the call, feeling so like watched. And then like I would go to the comments on Zoom, and it would just be so much love and just so much like gratitude for being so vulnerable. And I think through that experience, I realized how vulnerability, if I can be vulnerable in this situation, I can show up. It taught me to be vulnerable on Instagram and share more of myself. That's really where my community is gonna like resonate with me the most.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's so beautiful. I truly believe in the power of an incredible community. I feel like we all collectively manifested the group together, and it was everything that we needed and more. Like every single person was so loving and supportive and just willing to like cheer each other, because they were all going through the same thing, right? Like it's so powerful to be in a room where people are like, hey, I get it, I'm there too, here's what I have to offer, or hey, I was there a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago, and this is what I did. And being able to ask you questions, and we're all learning to coach ourselves and one another. So being able to ask the right questions of like, well, what are your thoughts on this, and where is this coming from, why do you feel like you need to do that, where is that should coming from, it's like being able to hold one another accountable and hold ourselves accountable is so powerful. And yeah, I think it just speaks to, it's never the perfect strategy or the perfect copy or the perfect sales page or the email list. Like I didn't have any of those things until months and months into my business, because the thing I focused on was just showing up, speaking authentically to the people I wanted to speak to. This is something that I was bringing up to one of my clients, and also to a coach colleague, I like to call them, is like, if you think that like, what do you think about your clients that you're speaking to, or not your clients, but like, I guess your community, potential clients, right? What do you think about them? Who do you think they are? If you feel like you're talking to a room full of strangers, you're going to show up a certain way. If you feel like you're talking to a room of people where you're just thinking about like, oh my God, what is my ex-colleague going to think of me from my day job? What is my friend from high school going to think? What is my mother-in-law's sister's aunt going to think about me, right? If we're constantly thinking about what these people are thinking about us, we're not able to focus on the people that are actually going to be benefiting from the things that we are holding back from saying, but also the messages that we're meant to channel, right? So you said like the post that you downloaded in 10 minutes and posted and written, like that was you channeling what you needed to share. So the way that I see it, my like woo way of viewing life and business, is that when you say yes to your magic and your secret sauce, the universe is like, oh yes, finally, oh my God, that took forever. And then the universe is able to kind of connect you magically, this happens very magically, with people that are searching for someone like you, right? And like there's a part of their spirit or their soul that gets drawn to you because of the energy. It's not because like, wow, Minal's Minaal's grammar was just impeccable in this caption, and that's why I'm going to hire her, right? It's because like, wow, she shines with this like radiant love and power and compassion. And I feel something when I'm around her. I feel something when I'm reading her content. That's the magic. And I think that's the thing that a lot of very masculine focused business coaches and business programs forget or don't look at is the aspect of energy and is the aspect of the magic that can't be explained of people going, I have no idea how I found you, and I am so drawn to you, and I have like binged all your content, right? Like those messages are so beautiful. And so yeah, I think that you are like really standing strong in your energy completely, and it's you are creating the foundation for your business, which is my dream with BAA, is like not having to redo a bunch of the shit that you've learned, is creating a foundation where you're like, yeah, I'm showing up unapologetically as myself. I know that it's my energy that attracts the clients, it's my thoughts that attract the clients, versus like everything needs to look this certain way and I need to put myself in a box. So I just want to say I'm so proud of you, and you've been doing an incredible job. And yeah, I'm so grateful to be connected with you. Can you share a little bit about like your current offer, where people can find you, any like last closing thoughts, or if there's like anything that you want to share to make this live complete?
Yeah, I feel like I had like these two burning thoughts. I was like, I have to tell people, like, Tiffany is the embodiment of the feminine. And I came in with like having just lived my life through the masculine because it just felt safer, structure felt safer. And I was like, if I can just be around her energy, there's a chance I can pick up on something. There's a chance that this could set me free from like some of the masculine strategies that I have so deeply like embedded within me. And it's just like, it took, I think, like a week of BA, like one group call, and I was like, I'm sold. Like the way she's teaching it, the way Tiffany shows up, like I've learned what I need to, like in that moment. And it was just like week after week integrating that into myself was such a huge part of it, because Tiffany, I think you simplified everything I thought of business. Like I basically had to unlearn it all through BAA and learn how to do it my way. And I think that's what you do, is like, you didn't say like, this is one strategy. It was like, you get to decide, and you created this really beautiful just like container for us, each of us, to come up with our own offer. And I think that's what, like in our last group call during graduation, hearing what everyone's offers, it was so exciting because we all started at the same space, but where we all ended up was just so uniquely beautiful. And I think had it been like a masculine strategy, we wouldn't have been able to do that. And so like, if you have been feeling like just claustrophobic, suffocated by what you keep seeing, and you keep comparing yourself to other people, like BA is the place to be, because it like, I'm so glad I took the leap of faith. And I think other people around me in my like circle can see that too. It's just, I'm so much more excited about like showing up for my business. Like I don't have questions anymore. I'm like, I have all the answers. And like that deep sense of like trust is what BA gave me. It's what being around Tiffany gave me. So that's like one of the biggest things, I think, was just the energy of BA. Like every week is how I felt. And then about me, I'm offering Dharma coaching, and I'm offering human design readings and coaching through my Instagram. You can DM me or book through the link in my bio. My Instagram is Minaal Adnani. And yeah, I can't wait to meet you there if it interests you. So thank you so much, Tiffany, for inviting me to be part of this. It's been so like beautiful to like share my journey, because in many ways this live is like a big part of me also, just like claiming that this is what I'm doing now. And yeah, this is my path.
Yeah, it 100% is. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry. This is so beautiful. I'm gonna include Minaal's links and information. I'm gonna turn this into an IGTV so it can be replayed and shared. And so please go and check her out. Please follow her. Reach out if you're looking for human design readings, if you're looking to connect further with your Dharma and your purpose. She is 100% the person to go to. Minaal, thank you so much for joining me on live, and thank you everyone for tuning in.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe. If this episode resonated with you, please take a screenshot, share it on your Instagram stories, and tag me at tiffanychung.co. I truly appreciate interacting with every one of you. Catch you all on the next one.